Hi, I'm Ron Fellows. In over 30 years of racing and teaching driving skills, I've learned a lot about the importance of having confidence while driving, both on the highway and on the racetrack. Now, by confidence, I mean knowing that you're prepared to handle any driving situation that might come along. But there's one situation that many drivers dread, one so buried in myth and rumor that even some of the professional drivers believe it cannot be handled. That situation, while rare, is the rapid loss of air in a tire. A blowout. Here at Michelin's Lawrence Proving Grounds, drivers have been taught what they should do in the event of a blowout, just as I've learned in my many years of racing. One thing they've learned is that we shouldn't necessarily be using the word blowout, because even though a rapid air loss situation can be noisy, a tire will more likely go flat due to a long, slow leak. This is often undetectable by the driver. But perhaps the most important thing we've learned is that having a rapid air loss does not automatically mean losing control. We're here to show you that you can maintain control of your rig if a rapid air loss situation should happen. The important thing to remember is that the way you maintain control is the same for a variety of situations, including flat tires, a crosswind, or bad weather. Now, we're not here to offer you a guarantee. What we're going to show are simple ways to maintain control over a vehicle by applying established physical principles that have been effective over the years if you use them quickly and properly. Now, obviously, we can't deal with every possible set of circumstances here, but if you watch and listen to what we have to say and use the techniques properly, they'll help you maintain control of your rig in an air loss situation. Keep in mind that the principles governing what happens after a tire goes flat are the same for every type of vehicle, loaded or unloaded, from a straight truck to a tractor-trailer unit to tankers. You handle each vehicle according to the same rules. First, let's take a look in slow motion at exactly what happens when a tire loses air quickly, because that's all a blowout really is, a tire that goes flat in a hurry. When it does, the front corner of the vehicle will drop, creating a side force. This side force depends on such factors as tire rolling resistance and vehicle dynamics. Although the vehicle will continue to roll along on the wheel and the deflated tire, the driver needs to compensate for this new side force. What do you do to maintain control? The answer is under your right foot. No, not the brake. In fact, panic braking is the worst possible thing you can do. Taking your foot off the accelerator is the second worst. The real solution is stepping on the accelerator. Getting power to the drive wheels means maintaining control. The accelerator is your best answer when there's a force pulling the rig to the side. Oh, wait a minute, you say. I don't want to go faster. I want to stop right now. I'm going for the brake and hard. When you do that, you may lose control. One of nature's basic laws says an object going in one direction, such as a rig on a highway, will keep moving in that direction unless it's acted on by a new side force in a different direction. In our diagram, the size of the arrow represents the magnitude and the direction of these forces. A rapid air loss creates a new side force. Unless the driver compensates for the side force, the rig will move in a new direction. By stepping on the accelerator, the driver starts to compensate. He completes the compensation by making a small steering correction. If you think about it, you deal with these external side forces all the time when you drive, especially in crosswinds or some high-crowned roads. All you do is step on the accelerator and correct with the steering wheel. There's no difference when a steer tire loses air. As the tire goes flat, a new side force begins acting on the rig. By stepping on the accelerator, making small steering corrections and driving your lane, you maintain control of your rig. Then, choose when and where to slow down and safely pull off to the side of the road. Watch again and notice just how much steering correction is needed. Now, when we say step on the accelerator, we aren't talking about picking up speed rapidly. After gently stepping on the accelerator, you should be able to diagnose the problem and keep the rig under control before gathering up any significant extra speed. One other point about stepping on the accelerator: if you run your rig against the governor all the time, you have no power in reserve. Always leave yourself with some extra power to deal with unexpected situations. On the other hand, if you step on the brakes in an air loss situation, you lose the forward force that allows you to maintain control. The rig becomes much more vulnerable to the new side force. Without the forward force, you'll be much less able to control the rig. For the purpose of this program, we're using fully loaded vehicles and creating blowouts on the tire sidewall using C4 plastic explosives. In slow motion, we can see what happens when the tire loses air. From the creation of the hole to the settling of the truck on the wheel and the deflated tire, it's actually just a fraction of a second. Until the settling occurs, the truck will keep right on going as if nothing happened. When the weight of the truck comes down on the wheel and the deflated tire, that's the point when the driver begins to feel the effects of the new side force through the steering or the ride. That's when the driver must take action by stepping on the accelerator and steering as necessary to maintain control. Now let's compare steer and drive tire error loss situations. The important thing to remember is you handle both situations the same way. The key difference is how they feel to the driver and what effect they have on the behavior of the vehicle. Controlling drive tire error loss situations calls for the same driving technique as a steer tire, with one important difference. When drive tires lose air, the driver still has two good front tires for steering. The answer again is getting power to the drive wheels with steering correction only as necessary. This power means the drive tires will follow where the steering tires lead them. You maintain control of the rig, then choose when and where to slow down and pull off to the side of the road. Remember, it's a federal violation of CSA regulations to drive on a flat tire. Limping in can also damage the duals, the vehicle, and endanger the motoring public. Again, stepping on the brakes is the worst thing the driver can do. It doesn't matter if the tire that loses air is a front or a rear. You deal with each situation the same way, by stepping on the accelerator, followed by steering correction as necessary. Never give up on an air loss situation either. Even if it's caught you by surprise, you can still keep the situation under control. Once you stabilize the truck, you can safely pull off the road. The rules for controlling a rig in an air loss situation are the same in any weather, on any kind of road, or even in a curve. Step on the accelerator and steer as necessary. But the rules do make demands on the driver, calling for a professional approach to the job. Be sure to go through a pre-trip inspection, including the tires, before you climb aboard. Using seat belts is vitally important as it maintains the driver's stability in the seat. Good driving habits will give you a head start in dealing with any situation, and the proper placement of your hands and arms is also important. When you hear, feel, or see something wrong, maintain control of the rig first, then find out the cause of the problem. If the problem is a steer tire, you'll probably feel it in your hands through the steering wheel. A rear tire affects the ride, so you're more likely to feel it through your seat. No matter which kind of flat tire you're dealing with, you maintain control the same way. Step on the accelerator and steer as necessary. Now, what you've seen here today are deliberate tire blowouts created in a controlled environment for our camera. Now, today's truck tires are better than ever, and chances are you may never have to deal with a rapid air loss situation. But just remember these simple rules. As we said at the beginning of this program, tire blowouts have been the subject of myth and rumor for too long. You, the driver, are the critical factor. In your accelerator and your steering, you have the tools to handle a blowout. Training thousands of drivers has proven this, and the drivers you've just watched have learned to follow these simple rules. You can handle an air loss situation just like they did. Thanks for watching, and continue to drive safely.
Michelin, a better way forward.